All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is January the 23rd, 2022, 5:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In today's content, I will talk about BTC and Ethereum on a macro view and what type of price action we could, could be anticipating over the next like a few months and all that good stuff. Okay. So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. If you find the content useful, you can also join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord, public or premium group, link in the description and all that good stuff, right? So let's go ahead and make sure the sound is good before we talk about all the good stuff. Okay, we got yo Sen in the house, missed a video in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Sentonzi in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in from Rome. Thanks a lot, man. Quanto. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, right? So if you've been following Sun Crypto long enough, you know the monthly time frame, it is quite important. Most traders don't pay attention to the monthly time frame, but it is one of the most important, time frame to pay attention to in, regarding a bull market and bear market, okay? So if you take a look at it right here, we've been waiting for the monthly 21 for the last few weeks since like early December, right after the first dump below the 52.7. We said we're going to be paying attention to our 37, 35. Why 35? The weekly. We will talk about the weekly later on, right? So you take a look at it right here. We're looking pretty good. We got 7 days to go to close the monthly 21 EMA. So I don't think like we in rush, and volume is not a lot in terms of like net volume, not just selling volume, but in terms of like a net volume, it is not a lot yet. Okay, so something to basically keep in mind. Are we going to be breaking out below it? We could, right? And if we break out below it, are we going to be dumping all the way down to 10K, 5K, and all that good stuff? I don't think so. Okay, I don't think BTC will basically be dumping, extremely below the low 30K and all that good stuff, right? The reason for that is like if we basically switch back to our 3 weeks time frame, which is basically our 21-day cycle, you can see like back in May, June, July, right, 2020, right here, what we said was like that's going to be our macro support in the short to medium term. And we said, most likely BTC will not close a candle below the 21 EMA on our 3 weeks basis. And if we go back and take a look at it right here, we spent quite a pretty good time right here above the 21 EMA back in 2018. If you take a look at it right here, 2019 also, right, the 40% pump and dump, we spent like nearly 3 candles, okay, or even like a 4 candles, okay, if you want to, include the December, the first week of November candle right here. So right here, a similar price action. We pump back above it. We said if we dump, we're going to use it as a support. But if we see some sign of weakness, right, we will basically just give up on it and rely on the monthly basis, right? So the monthly did not so far betray us, right? So it is still holding pretty strong. We got 7 days to go to close the monthly candle and all that good stuff. So let me know if you basically follow the monthly time frame or you just follow the weekly time frame and 3D time frame, right? So if the monthly time frame is that important to you, okay, let me know in the comment section or in the chat room, right? So now if we go back to the 3 week cycle, since like the 3 weeks 21 EMA was basically a strong support over the last few months, since May. So nearly over 7-8 months, it's been holding pretty strong, right? Price action been trading above it. Since like now we below it and we close a candle below it, we got to rely on our 50 EMA on our 3 weeks time frame. Okay, so it is a very, very easy strategy. We break out below our 21. The next support, on a macro level, going to be the 21 EMA. Yes, most people could be looking at it differently. They're going to be like, oh, 30K. Yes, it is at 30K, but not just 30K because of a price level, but a moving average level. Okay, even if you go back in 2020, the March dump, we did not close below it. We did not close below it. Okay, even though we dumped all the way down to the 100 EMA, where we found support even back in 2018, right there, we did not close below the 50 EMA. So in terms of macro support, for a macro view, not a short-term trade like 30K, 35K, but let's say I'm looking to hold BTC for the next 36 months. I think like 30K, is a great level to add on, right? If we break out below the monthly 21 EMA over the next a few quarters. Okay, as I said, if we go back to the quarterly basis, right, what I said was BTC never closed a candle below the last yearly low. Okay, so our last yearly low was like 28.8. Okay, so if we're expecting BTC not to close a candle, not to close the yearly candle below 30K, right? I would say below 28.8. So anything at or close to 30K, it is going to be what? A steal, right? So on a quarterly basis, you can see we said it back in May. Okay, we said I said exactly we could spend like nearly a year, right, in this range. So if you take a look at it on the weekly and all that good stuff, it looks like a pump and dump, right? A nice flat correction. But if you take a look at it on a quarterly basis, we said clearly, right, the last quarter of a bull run, right, it takes like generally, okay, a year to break out below it. That's our last quarter of the bull run right here, the first quarter of 2021. You can see like we're still above the lows right there. Okay, so if you go back and take a look at the last quarter of 2017, October 2017, December 2017, you can see like it took a year to break out below it, and right now it's been already over a year. Okay, so bear market doesn't have to be a downtrend. Bear market could be, you could look at a bear market as a sideways correction. Okay, because if we spend let's say we stay in this range for another year, right? Is it going to be a bear market? Yes, it is still going to be a bear market because you're going to get, some move like that. Pump back up above, 60K, drop back down, down to 30K and so on. We could be in this range forever. We don't know. We don't know. I don't think we will be correcting like that for the next like a few months, but something to just keep in mind. As you can see right here, the last quarter of 2018, we never basically broke out below it. Didn't even retest the quarterly open. Not even like, I'm not even talking about the quarterly low, but the quarterly open, the last quarter of 2013. So it is a very, very important trading strategy based on the macro view and all that good stuff, right? So let's take a look at the yearly cycle, since like we already talked about the yearly cycle. So you know exactly what I'm telling you. So if you take a look at BTC on the yearly cycle, right? Every single year, okay, we tend to basically close above the previous yearly low. As you can see, since 2011, okay, candle closed above the yearly low right there, right? And 2013, you got the deal, okay? Even though 2014 was bearish, we did not close below 2013. Even though basically, 2015 was a small candle, we did not close below 2014, and so on and so forth. So you got the trend. So if that's what we're expecting over the next like a few months, we can say even if we dump below 30K, we're not going to stay below it too long. Okay, because we're trading the macro scale, not the 10 minutes chart, 1 second chart, and all that good stuff. So if you're looking to sell, let's say if I'm looking to sell my BTC, all the way up to 300K and all that good stuff, I wouldn't care if BTC dumps below 30K and we test like a 20K and all that good stuff, because it is just going to be an add-on opportunity for the next like a bull cycle within the next like a few months and all that good stuff, right? So something to basically keep in mind. Now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on weekly basis. So if we take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, our main support area we talk about, right, was our two main support areas. We talk about were the monthly 21 EMA, first support, second support, the weekly 100 EMA. And the most important is closing basis. As you can see right here, we're still above the weekly 100 EMA. Okay, we talked about it, guys, back in December, right here, when BTC was at 52. We said monthly 100 EMA 37, weekly monthly 21 EMA 50, monthly 21 EMA 37, weekly 100 EMA 35 and a half, give or take, right? Bang, we're still above it. Okay, so we got nearly 13 hours to close the candle, so most likely the bulls going to try to close the candle above the weekly 100 EMA over the next like a few hours, right? So something to keep in mind, we could spend like enough time to basically even reaccumulate around the 100 EMA, just like what happened back in December, right? November, December 2019, right here before the pushback up to 10.5. We don't know, okay? Because if you remember, we talk about BTC based on Elliott wave, and what we said was like, as long as we stay right above 30K, we could call it a running flat, and we could be pushing to the upside. So it is a good, we got a pretty good chance, right, to stay above the 34, 35K area if we're going to be creating a running flat based on Elliott wave. Okay, we could create an expanded flat and retest lower than 30K. However, the probability of BTC finding a support, in this range of 30K to a high 20K could be pretty high, right, for the next like a few quarters and so on, right? So keep that in mind. On a yearly basis, anything at or close to 30K, it is bullish, right? So based on wave analysis, the flat correction right here, it is still in play, right? So basically what we're saying is like the 34, 35K area, it is still a good reaccumulation range. If we dump lower, bang, it could just be an add-on for me, and for the next like and wait for the next like a bull cycle and all that good stuff, right? Let me take a look at the chat room. Hey, what's up, Quiet Cook? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hey, what's up? What's up? I've been doing like I've been trying to do some live stream for my moon boys in Europe. uh, Omni Block, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Quanto. I mean, we will talk about Hex later on. Hex, it is still pretty high. I think, if BTC is going to be consolidating, it is Hex will be pulling back down much lower. We will take a look at the chart. The chart looks like it is going to go through a reaccumulation phase. You could call it bear market, but it could go through a reaccumulation phase for the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. So we will take a look at it when the time is right. I don't want to talk about it too early, and people FOMOing on it and having to sit on it for a while. So never mind. One says every time the alt pump hard like this, right? So basically, he's saying like whenever alt pump, and BTC is not moving, we will see another dump. That's basically what Nevermind is saying. Cannibal Wealth in a house, thanks a lot for tuning in. Yeah, so alt they dump a lot, so they got to recover, but the trend it is still down. So you don't just get too excited about these moves. Yes, if you swing trading it, right, you can you bought the dip 20% pump, you got to take profits and all that good stuff, because we've been down since like November, the first, November, let's say no, the week of November 8th, right? So it is nearly over 74 days. So we're not going to be breaking out and reverse back up based on the hourly time frame. So if BTC pumps like 10, 15, even 15% on an hourly basis, it might not be the right strategy to look at. You want to basically pay attention on the weekly to see how we're going to be closing on the weekly basis. Because BTC now it is moving on the monthly and weekly time frame. It is not moving on the week. I mean on the daily or even like a 3D. Okay. Yes, we know the 3D time frame is bearish. We already got that done since like the first week of December. After we dumped below it right here, we said let's pack our bags. Okay, let's pack our bags because we could be dumping all the way down to what, the monthly. So you see the difference. We started with the 3D time frame, and we were looking for the monthly. So a big gap. So that's not a short-term trade. That's why it took forever, to basically retrace down to the monthly 21 EMA. So you got to keep that in mind, right? So so basically, if we go back to the weekly, we just have to stay above the weekly and see if we're going to get enough volume to basically reverse back up and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 3D basis. So the 3D time frame, it is not giving us any sort of reversal, right? That's why I was telling you guys, we will take a look at the daily time frame and all that good stuff. Don't pay attention too much on a daily basis, because if you unless you're short-term trading, right, you could pay attention to the daily, right, but got to pay attention to the 3D and 2D time frame. Okay, the daily got a lot of noise. If you want to pay attention to it, great, but since like we're on a strong downtrend, it is better to pay attention to the higher time frame instead of paying attention to the 1 second chart, 1 minute chart, and all that good stuff, right? So on the 3D basis, our strategy is pretty simple. Okay, as long as our MACD is negative, price action below the 21 EMA, we most likely going to stay down. Okay, we're just going to follow the trend. It means like any pumps, right? If you get a pump, it could just be a short-term fake out, right? You got to pay attention to your 6 hour and all that good stuff, those resistances, right? 6 hour 21 EMA, we will talk about it, right? And all that good stuff. But just to cut it short, on the 3D basis, MACD negative, price action still below the 3D 21, bang, you know the deal. Okay, you can still go back to sleep and wait for the proper setup, right? So now if we go ahead and take a look at BTC on the 2D basis, right? On the 2D basis, as you can see right here, I said it multiple times. these type of trend right there, they're pretty negative. Okay, whenever you see it, pack your bags, because okay, we're going to get a strong selling pressure to the downside. Even to the upside, whenever you get it right, you get it right here, a strong rejection like that, you're going to get what, a strong push to the upside. And if you guys recall right here, 33, that's when we said let's pack our bags again, because we're going to the moon, right, not to the downside. Okay, so based on the 3D, right, and 2D time frame, we need our MACD and RSI to basically start to point up. Okay, in order to basically in order for us to start like looking for some moon prices. But it doesn't mean we're not going to pay attention to our monthly, right, and weekly support. Remember, support, don't get confused. A support area and a reversal. Okay, you don't know when you're going to reverse, but you got to basically pay attention to your supports, right? You can hit supports, right, for like a few weeks, just to bounce off the support area up and down and all that good stuff, but you're not going to be reversing. So we could basically find support right here, right? For instance, right, I'm not sure, right, if we're going to be reversing, but we know it is a support. Okay, if we stay in this range for the next few weeks, this guy, it has to basically point up, and could even give us a divergence, something like that, in the next like a few weeks. But just to cut it short, once again, the 3D time frame, it is still pretty bearish. Okay, so now if we go ahead and take a look at BTC on the daily, hopefully you guys gave up already on your daily bullishness, right? So you know, most traders, they still going to be calling it what, a divergence, right there. And that's what I told you, be cautious when BTC was right there. You know, BTC was doing something like that on a daily basis. Okay, if you guys recall, right, when BTC was doing something like that, what I said was like, you don't know, okay, because the angle could be something like that. So let me know if you remember what I said right here. Okay, let me know in the comment section if you basically remember what we said when BTC was doing this. Okay, we said it could basically, you know, it could basically create a horizontal floor. So you don't want to be too early, right, anticipating a reversal. Okay, so and if you take a look at it right here, right, bang, okay, you see, right, so you keep on basically staying bullish and sucker basically don't. And you know, we gave you guys a pretty good example regarding all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 6 hour basis, right? So the 6 hour basis, what I've been saying regarding the 6 hour basis, it is like whenever we cross bullish, right, on our 6 hour MACD, the volatility will slow down. Okay, the downside momentum will slow down. Remember, the momentum is what, downward. So when you get your MACD flipping bullish, right, it will slow down the downside potential. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean like you're not gonna dump later on. It only means like you got plenty of time to think about like what you're gonna do. Okay, am I gonna get wrecked or not? Okay, that's the only thing MACD will tell you. So right now, if we flip bullish right here, it means like we will go through another correction phase over the next like a few days. Okay, so that's what I said right here. Remember, guys, 2 weeks ago, right? Actually, 3 weeks ago, and that's exactly what I said in my premium right here. As soon as we flip bullish, right? A couple of weeks ago, right? The week of January 8th, and all that good stuff. That's what I said right here. We will be basically moving sideways, right, all the way up to 43, and we will basically dump. Okay, if we go, I said, if we even push higher, right, we got our previous support right there, going to be what, our resistance. But our immediate resistance going to be 43. Okay, 43. But remember, people are going to be going to look for what, they're going to look for like a 2,000 point pump when they could get like a 10,000 point dump. Which one would you take? Which one would you take? Would you try to long it all the way up to like 45 when you know the downside potential is very, very high? You don't want to mess with like a 2,000 point versus a 10,000 point, right? So join the public Telegram group. Link in the description. I've been giving you guys some great analysis, both on a lower degree and on the macro, on the macro level. If you've been following if you've been following the channel, right, you should have basically been bearish on Ether above 4,000, and Ether dropped like nearly 45-50% since I said Ether is done, right? So go ahead and show me basically who told you like Ether will be dropping down to the lower, low 2,000, few weeks ago, and all that good stuff, right? Based on our strategy, we won't just saying like Ether will drop down like to 2650 and all that good stuff because we wanted Ether to drop. No, we wanted Ether to go up, but our strategy was saying like Ether will likely to retrace lower. Okay, but we will take a look at Ether. So on the 6 hour time frame, just to cut it short, right? It is still bearish, so keep an eye on a potential sideways correction. And another move, if we basically don't flip bullish, it means that we will dump straight down. Okay, if we don't flip bullish right here and get a rejection from the signal line, it will dump hard. Okay, the other possibility is like we just create another sort of either a triangular formation, right? We could create a flat right here, right? We could create a zigzag like that. We don't know, but we know, if this guy flips bullish, we will get some sort of correction right here. Okay, and that's going to lead us down to the hourly basis, because the hourly time frame, whenever we basically dump hard, we know, okay, the 21 EMA going to be our immediate resistance right here. Okay, right here, as you can see right here, most people front run it, right? The price action using the 45 minutes. If you use the 45 minutes, you are basically going to enter pretty early, and you're going to get a nice 5% dump. Okay, if you're scared to basically short after the big dump. That's why I keep saying, whenever BTC dump hard, right? Don't basically enter too early. Not financial advice, right? Wait for the 45 minutes up to the 1 hour 21 EMA to basically get a nice 5%, up to 5%. Okay, scalp. As you can see right here, 4.8. That's not even a scalp, that's a regular trade, man. 5%, man. Come on. So now the next time frame to not next time frame, but the next moving average to pay attention to, it is going to be the 100 EMA on the hourly basis over the next like couple of days. Okay, so that's going to be our next resistance. We don't know at what price level it is going to be at over the next like a few days, but we could just estimate it to be somewhere around 36, 37, give or take. It means this guy right here, okay, could still do something like that and go up. So if you guys recall what I said right here, if you guys remember, I said it also our last dump, remember right here, okay? Remember when BTC was right there. What I said, right? BTC is right here, right? So we can either push to the 100 EMA, or, okay, sucker was right here. Let me know if you remember, right? I was like, okay, our next resistance is going to be the 100 EMA, but we don't know when we're going to get there. We can either dump down, retest the low, and pump to the 100 EMA. Exactly that's what we did. We basically created the triple bottom right here and a zigzag right there, right? And basically dump hard and basically pump up to the 6 hour 100 EMA and all that good stuff. Okay, actually, didn't quite get to the 100 EMA, but the 50 EMA on the 6 hour, right? So I'm giving you one of the best analysis. Make sure to hit the likes if you enjoy the content and all that good stuff. Now let's move on to Ethereum 589. We will take a look at 589. Hey, what's up, Emery? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Can I see BTC back above? I don't know, but 40975 going to be our next resistance. Okay. Thank you for mentioning 41K. Let's go back to BTC. So because I didn't talk about the I think we talked about the resistance, right? So, but our next resistance over the next like a few days or even like weeks going to be the 3 weeks 21 EMA. If you can basically use the 3 weeks time frame, just recall our 40975. 40975 going to be the going to be our next short to medium term resistance, right? Got to take out 41 in order to basically even think about like a straight moonshot to 100K and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum on a 3D basis, that's Chainlink. So Ethereum, we've been spot on. If you've been following Send Crypto, right there, right, spot on, guys. Was not a short-term trade. 40% dump is not a short-term trade. At 4100, right, we said get out. It is time to dump, and the lower, first support going to be 3150, 2850, and second support going to be down to like 2650. And as soon as we hit 2650, I updated updated it, on my premium, and I said, 2550 down to a 22, 2200. Okay. And why is this range? If we take a look at it on a monthly basis, right? Remember, we talked about Ether. If the move is strong, we will dump down to the monthly 21. I don't think we will dump hard below it because, most likely it is going to get a strong support just above like, 20, just above 2000. So the monthly 21, it is a quite important support for Ether right there. As you can see, resistance right there, resistance right there, right? So keep an eye on Ether, right? Just above the monthly 21. I'm not saying we won't dump below it, but what I'm saying is, like, on a monthly basis, we could find a temporary support for the next like a few weeks. Even if we dump below it, it could basically bounce back up above it, right? So just keep an eye on Ether between 2200, right? Even down to 2000, right? Hey, what's up, Double A? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Where's Triple A? Yeah, so now let's go back to Ether on a weekly basis, right? So weekly basis, not quite yet at the weekly 100 EMA right there. So weekly 100 EMA right now at 2260, give or take, right? So which basically coincide with our 2200. And next support after that, we got our July's support right here on average 1800, right? Could be lower, but that's going to be the average price level to look for. Weekly, divergence, played out right here, so we did not mess with it. Based on Elliott wave, also we said exactly, it is a five-way structure, right? And we did have a, a pretty good divergence between wave 3 and wave 5, and we could be looking for lower prices. So everything was just aligning perfectly for Ether. So it wasn't a hard call to basically say Ether is done. Okay. Remember, we said we could pump all the way up to 5,600 up to a 6,000 range. However, after we turned bearish, after the price action turned bearish, we just sucked it up. Okay, sucked it up. Because if you recall, I've been bullish on Ether, forever. Okay, been bullish on Ether forever. $80 right here, $300 right there, and all the way up to above $4,000. So now let's go ahead and take a look at 589. So 589 hit support 55, didn't quite hit 54. So but the trend, it is still down. So let's see over the next like a few weeks if the bulls will be buying at the 50 cents area, right? 50 to 55 cents area. Going to be accumulation, not reversal, right? The next accumulation range could be all the way down, to like a 45 to a 35 area, which is going to be depending on how you want to look at it, going to be a 1.27 extension to the downside. Okay, if you want to do a swing low to swing high based on the 10-cent support all the way up to 196, right? 196, 50% pullback going to be 45. So 45 to 35 is also going to be a very important key level to keep an eye on. But we will discuss it if and only if we break out below the 50 cents, right? Because except it could do something crazy. It could just, it could just get a nice bounce back up and still retest the 50 when BTC dumping at the at the 30 support. So it doesn't have to drop below the 50 cents, because 50 cents, I said it, it is a it is a nice historical support area. So let's just keep an eye on it, but it doesn't mean it cannot break it. If it break it, it is, it is just going to be an add-on opportunity for the bulls, right, down to the 45 to 35, right? All right, guys, so we talked about BTC on a monthly basis, on the all the way down to the hourly time frame, and we talk about Ether on the monthly all the way down to 3D time frame and all that good stuff. And we just talk about XRP support, main support, 50 to 55, secondary support 35 to 45, right? Not sure if it will get there, but if it does, bang, okay? It's all yours. All right, so next one going to be Litecoin. So Litecoin, hopefully bulls been paying attention to it. We call the 105 to $100 support, even when Litecoin was way above like a 160 and all that good stuff. Okay, just like ADA, when ADA was like 160, we were saying like 105, right, to dollar to 105 support. We hit like 91 cents on ADA. So only Cent Crypto will give you this type of macro support, ahead of time. That way you know exactly what to expect. Okay, so hit the likes, join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord public or premium group, link in the description, so you can be ready for the next alt season. Okay, so now let's move on to VET. So VET BTC, as I said last time, okay, VET BTC is looking pretty nasty, okay, on a weekly basis. It doesn't mean it won't reverse, but if we just pay attention to our trend line resistance right here, and basically our trend line support right there, we could be looking for VET to retrace all the way down to the low 100 sats. Okay, right now it is at 150, so I think like 100 sats we could get a temporary support. Not sure if it is going to be a reversal support, but we will see once we hit like 110 to 100 sats. Okay, give or take, because the 0.618 it is at 93, right, to be exact. But just to front run the price, I think like 100 sats on average going to be a good level to start like a reaccumulating, or reaccumulating VET. It has a nice chart both on BTC and USD. It is not crazily volatile to the downside. Once we find support, it likes to pump with BTC. That's why I like VET. And I said it when VET was right here back in December, actually November 2020, exactly when VET hit 60 sats. What I said was like, it is time to suck it up. VET is not a short-term trade. If we, be patient over the next like a few weeks, a few months, we could get even 1,000 sats VET, and we pump all the way up to a nearly 500 sats, give or take. Okay, we hit like a 473. Okay, so and we could still go to 1,000 sats over the next like a few alt seasons. So 100 sats. After that, anything lower, below anything lower, right, could be just a reaccumulation phase. But the next macro macro trend for VET could be above like 950 to 1,000 sats. Okay, so first support, macro support on average 100 sats. If we dump below it, I would just keep an eye on like every 50% pullback, not like 10%. Okay, and that would be like, that would take us like all the way down to like a 50 to a 60 sats. So but let's see, okay, how 100 sats will hold over the next like a few weeks, right? 46 Zebra in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC, actually crypto versus Apple, right? We talk about crypto versus the crypto total market cap versus the Apple total market cap. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain to you guys what exactly what I mean. Okay, let's take a look at it on a monthly basis, right? So if you take a look at the chart right now, the chart you're looking at right now, right, it is the monthly chart of the total market cap of crypto versus the total market cap of Apple. Okay, so let's say if let's say crypto is 3 trillion, right? Let's say crypto total market cap is 3 trillion, right? And Apple total market cap is 3 trillion. So what is the ratio? Okay, you don't need a calculator. The ratio is going to be 1. Okay, so that's what you got right here. The ratio 1.1 not 1.1, but 1 to 1. Okay, it pumped a little bit like 1.2, right? But let's just round it down. Okay, 1:1 ratio. Okay, so it means like whenever Apple is, let's say, not whenever, but we can expect like crypto to keep up with Apple. So, and I'm very bullish on Apple over the next like let's say 3 to 5 years. The Apple, market cap current growth rate over the last 7 years is pumping like nearly 30% a year. Okay, and it is not. We're not talking about crypto. We're talking about Apple. Okay, so in the last 3 years, or even like I think last 4 years, right, it pumped like 75%. You know, every single year. Okay, except the crash we had. You know, even after the March crash, it basically pumped a lot. Okay, but basically it is pumping nearly over 30% a year. So if we're expecting Apple to pump like nearly over 30% a year over the next like 3 to 5 years, it will be nearly nearly 10 trillion, 8 to 10 trillion market cap. And if we expect the ratio to be one over the next like over the next like a few years, we can expect like crypto to worth like over 10 trillion, even if we do not break out against Apple. You see what I'm saying? So, and in terms of wave analysis, I think we will be breaking out very, very soon, because it is a flat correction right here. We already retested the support, which is nearly 0.5, the ratio 0.5, meaning like crypto total market cap is 50% of Apple. Okay, we hit right there 0.57, not quite yet 0.5, right? We could dump all the way down to 0.45, right? But we will see if we will get there. If you take a look at the inverse of it right here, it looks even better. Okay, it looks even better if you take a look at the inverse of it. You can just do let's say Alt plus I, right, to get the inverse of it. If you want to get the ticker, let me give you guys the ticker so you can add it to your chart, right? So that's the ticker right here. If you add it to your trading view, you can basically get the same chart I'm looking at right now. Okay, I just pinned it, right? So that's is it right there. Okay, so if you take a look at it, the inverse of it, it looks like what? It looks like a flat correction, right? So you got a dump right here, a pump right here, a dump right here, and now you're getting what? Another pump right here. So what do we say regarding a flat correction? It is a continuation pattern, a continuation of what? Of the previous move. What is the previous move? Was a dump. So what do we expect? A continuation should be what? A dump. Okay, so it means like if we take a look at it, again, regularly, right? We could be pumping against Apple over the next like a few years. That's why I'm still extremely bullish on crypto. Okay, so if you're bullish on Apple over the next like a few years, you got to be extremely bullish on crypto. The worst case scenario is like we just retest like the 0.37 right here, and I don't know what the market cap will be, but let's say 40% of Apple market cap. Okay, I don't expect Apple to dump 50%, right? So if Apple dumps like 50% right now, I think it is like, let's say 3 trillion, 50% of it going to be, 1.5 trillion. And 1.5 trillion, if you're looking for like 50% of that, you're looking at what? Nearly, not nearly, but 750 billion. I don't think crypto will dump below 750 billion, right? So it makes it very compelling, right, to follow the chart right here, just in case we retest down the down at below 50%, right? So I don't think we will be dumping below like below our previous market cap top, the last bull run. Okay, we picked somewhere around like 800 billion, so I don't think we will be dumping below 800 billion. Okay, because that'd be really bad. But who knows? Okay, that's my own personal analysis, right? Maybe another Doom boy got a better analysis regarding how low it can drop. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you guys 20 seconds, right, to ask question regarding other alt before we go back to before we go back to BTC. So FTM right here, FTM guys, I've been warning you about FTM. Yes, I know, sucker look bullish and all that good stuff, but we're starting to print a divergence. We got a strong bearish divergence right here on a weekly basis, pretty extended, okay, right there. So you can see that we got a bearish divergence, and at the same time, we got a smaller one right there on a weekly basis. Okay, so keep an eye on FTM. I've been bullish on FTM. Started like, let's say, October 2020, October, November, December 2020. And if you follow this, right, even though we did not buy the bottom, you buy the second wave right here, it is still up nearly over 160x. That's why when people looking for the bottom and all that good stuff, you don't have to buy the bottom, guys. I'm telling you, you don't need to buy the bottom. You just need to buy the trend. Okay, FTM, when I was talking about FTM, I was just paying attention to like FTM BTC back in November 2020. And sucker, it is still up over 16,000%, and people are still looking to buy it. I'm not saying it cannot go higher, but you want to look for something very, very unpopular, not like something that already pumped like over 20,000%, right? And remember, I just said it, we did not buy the bottom right here. We bought it right there. Okay, we bought it right here versus BTC when it was like 100 sats to a 50 sats, and sucker is right now, just pumped like above like a 7,000 sats. Okay, so pay attention to FTM. Okay, what do I think will happen to the stock market? Let's take a look at the. I mean, most of the stocks, they're pretty bearish, right? On a monthly basis. Mm, yeah, everything is yeah. Nasdaq, na yeah. So the S&P 500, right? Strong bearish trend on the weekly. Let's take a look at it on the regular weekly. Okay. So now we below the 21 EMA finally, right? The whole time, okay, the whole time we were creating a divergence, right? We never broke out below the weekly 21. So if you guys recall back in October 2021, what I said was like, the trend, it is still up. We're still above the weekly 21. But now below the weekly 21 EMA, right? The trend is kind of negative, okay? Is very, very negative. Okay, so first support on the weekly 50, and then secondary support on the higher time frame going to be the 100 EMA on a weekly basis on average 4,000. Okay, if we take a look at it on the monthly, yeah, Yeah, monthly 21, just about the weekly 100 EMA going to be just about $4,000, which is going to be another 10% dump, right? If we ever retest it, because it doesn't have to retest it right now. Let's say we can still create like a 2 to 3 month of a bull trend right here, right? And after that, the next month after that could basically give us the capitulation. So sometimes pay attention to these type of a structure where you get a very engulfing candle, and the next few months after that, because everyone going to be bearish, right? So the market going to reverse. It could be like that too. It doesn't have to drop right away. You see what I'm saying? So we could create a pattern like that where we basically reverse like for 2 months and then capitulate after that. That's possible. I'm not saying it will, but something to keep in mind, right? But if we continue to dump lower, monthly 21, right there, 4,000. Okay, I don't think we will get down to we will dump down to the monthly 100 EMA all the way down to 3,000 anytime soon. Okay, so and a very good example regarding a flat correction, we talk about it like we talk about the running flat right here. If you take a look at the running flat we got, looking at the S&P between 2000 right and 2009, that entire move was just a correction. So, and if we take a look at BTC right now, right, if we take a look at BTC, do this. Let's do this, okay? Let's take a look at it on a weekly. On a monthly, looks better on a monthly, right? So if you take a look at it right here, right, and second. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC right here. So same exact what? Same exact chart, okay? So that's why I'm saying we can still get a running flat like that. Yeah, and we talked about all this good stuff, guys, a while ago, okay? So BTC can still, do not ignore the fact that we could get a running flat, okay? But it is still going to be what? Accumulation, not capitulation. You could call it capitulation because it could move very fast with a high volume. But if you you don't want to be bearish while BTC is capitulating. You want to be bullish while BTC is capitulating. And when BTC is basically moving parabolically, you want to be bearish, okay, taking profits, okay, right, like that. All right, we got it. You got it now, right? Right here. Okay. So let's see, okay, if we will be finding some sort of support right here and basically push it upside with some sort of a divergences, right? Because we got to get our 3D time frame, right? The MACD, right, on our 3D time frame to a flip bullish. That's a weekly, but you know what I mean, right? So, and at the same time, the weekly will need to basically flip bullish, right? Again, okay. All right. This guy is talking about tomorrow. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Okay, could it could dump, but it could let's take a look at it on the lower degree. Yeah, it looks pretty it looks pretty nasty. Yeah. So lower degree support right here at 42.80 up to 33.30. Okay, it's going to be the temporary support, and your RSI is completely dead, right? But you can still make some lower lows with some potential divergence, something like that, where price action can still bounce and create some sort of divergences, right, over the next like a few few days and so on. Okay, no sort of a bullish uptrend on our 6 hour time frame yet, so it means like the trend is pretty strong. And once we flip bullish on our 6 hour, you could start to anticipate some divergences and all that good stuff, right? So you know exactly what to look for. I mean, we just have to be very cautious when we say bear market, right? Because Bitcoin really, if you want to take a look at it, right, in terms of a macro view, we've been in a bear market since since I would say even January. Okay, so January 2021. Why January 2021? Because if sometimes you don't, like, let's say you're looking for the bottom, okay, you're not gonna know the bottom till basically we get a complete reversal, right? So sometimes you don't know about the absolute top till we get what a complete reversal. You don't have to pick the absolute top. We're not basically in a business to try to find the tops and bottom. We will never find tops and bottom. You will never find it. You can be lucky every now and then to call the tops and bottom, but you're gonna make yourself look like a fool. Okay, so because no one cares about the top, no one cares about the bottom. The only thing we're looking for is like the trend. That's why we use these technical analysis, and most of these indicators, right, they lagging indicators. So how you can use a lagging indicator to basically look for an absolute top, because it is your MACD, it is a lagging indicator. A divergence, it is a lagging indicator, right? Even though you can say, oh, we got double top and double bottom and all that good stuff, but it is lagging. Okay, because your price action can basically make a higher high, right? But MACD won't make a high, so it is lagging, right? So if you take a look at it right here, the 1.618 extension was where was right at 40, 40, give or take 44K, right? Depending on how you want to draw it and which exchange you're using also, right? Okay, right there, 43, 44. So after 43, 44 on a monthly basis, right? Back in 2021, we only got one candle, okay, closing above the 1.618. Why 1.618? Remember, based on wave analysis, that's why it is so important to pay attention to all these little details. This was wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Okay, remember we said our wave 3 going to be up to 44. Why 44? Because 44 going to be 42, 44, give or take, right? Going to be 1.618 extension. Even though we pump all the way up to 60K, right? Price action respected the 1.618. okay, could not get a clean trend above it. If you take a look at it on a quarterly basis or like a, a monthly basis. So technically, right, the top based on 1.618 extension was 44, 42K, give or take, right? But we're creating now a double top, double bottom to potentially, okay, create our wave now being our wave 4, and we're going to be looking for our wave 5. Okay, so it is very, very important. All right, guys, I'm just gonna keep it short. It is already, whoa, it is already 1 hour. So we will go live later on during the day, depending on the volatility and all that good stuff. Okay, so let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you think if you think like the monthly 21 EMA will hold, or you're waiting for the monthly 50, or even the weekly 200 EMA, whichever you're waiting for. Okay, and let me know your target on the macro scale. What will be your next macro target? 150, 250, 300K, and all that good stuff. Okay, so all right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification so you can get all my notification, guys, because market going to be pretty volatile over the next like a few weeks, and you want to stay on top of the on top of the game and on top of your game, and basically take advantage of the macro trend. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.